Okay, well, we're now into 2023, just the beginning of it, and I wanted to go over 23 ways to lead gen for your 2023 year. And most of these are free. It's just the amount of energy that you're going to be putting into each of these to be successful. So I'm Mark Gant. I'm with eXp Realty, and I have been a real estate agent for 26 years. And we're going into a different market, I feel. We are seeing higher interest rates. We're seeing housing coming down in many areas. So what does it mean? It means you need to double down. Everybody can still be successful in this industry. You just got to work. You got to do a little bit more. So I'm going to cover those 26 items. I'll go a little bit in detail on some of those. So grab a pen, grab a pencil, or just watch this several times. And I do hope some of this helps. So let's start out with first-time home buyer seminars. Many states, I know here in Washington State, we have a zero down program that's offered by the state. You as an agent can teach those classes along with your lender, but you can also do other first-time buyer classes for veterans, for VA classes, rent-to-own, items like that. So that's something to keep in mind. You can definitely get some information from your lender partner and do it together, and it's a great way to get leads. The other one is calling expired listings, and it doesn't mean just expired. As we already know, there's already 100 agents doing that. Go back a year, go back 2 years, maybe even 3 years, and ask them, have they thought about or are they interested in selling? They were at one time, so maybe they are again. Number 3 is social media posts asking for business. So just get on Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok if that's what you're into, but ask for business. Tell people you're a real estate agent, you live on referrals, tell them what areas you service, and it's a great way to get some leads that way. Work on your Google My Business page. Everybody should have a Google My Business page. It's free to do. You just go to Google My Business. It's going to ask you some questions, but you almost want to treat it like a social media page. You're going to want to go in there and add photos, add images, everything about yourself, your business, even houses that you have sold or have listed. Next is open houses. That's your number 5. Open houses are always going to be, in my opinion, your top 3 lead gen. You're getting in front of people, you're getting face to face, and most people that come to an open house are actually looking to buy. You're going to get some neighbors, so it's a great way to get listings, but the main thing to be focusing on is you have to know your scripts, what to ask them, so that they will communicate with you and potentially get you a great buyer lead or even a listing. Next, let's look at posting on Facebook, picking, like, for example, homes under $400,000 in your particular area. So if you have a website, you should have a search tool to search based on area and price, and then you would post that link onto your Facebook or other social media places to let people know, hey, here's everything in this particular town under 400,000. And it's a great way to get some people responding to that, and then you can reach out and make a connection. Obviously, the next one, this is my top 2, is your sphere, friends, family. Make sure everybody knows you're a real estate agent. If you don't tell them, they're not going to know. I mean, you have cousins, brothers, sisters, parents, co-workers, spouses, co-workers. What does your spouse or significant other do for a living? Make sure everybody around them know that as well. So, for example, I got a individual agent. Her husband's a firefighter. It's a great source to get down to that fire department, supply some donuts, whatever it may be, even education about buying a home. But it's a great way to get that connection going and getting it out there. Agent to agent business. This is another great free one. So get on all your social medias and on Facebook, there's a lot of groups. There's military groups, there's niche groups. Get on those pages and also take the time to reach out to agents personally to say, hey, if you have anybody coming into my area, please put my name in that list. Please call me. Let me know. I would love to help them. I'm happy to pay you a referral. And then, of course, they will expect that in back. So build yourself a little pipeline or a map of each area that you can do correspondence with back and forth and get some referrals going. Next is Marketplace. Marketplace on Facebook is actually a great way to get business. If you don't have listings, just ask agents in your office. You can even reach out to agents that aren't in your office and just get written permission and say, hey, can I advertise your listings on Marketplace? It's a great way to lead gen some buyers, because what you do is you post the property, but you can also talk about the programs for that property. So for example, you can put a $450,000 house in Marketplace, and in the remarks, or the description, you can state, hey, this house could go 0 down. It may go rent to own, or it may go VA. So make sure you're getting those details out there, because what will happen is those potential buyers will see that and want to reach out. But make sure they're good listings, they're in the right price point, and good pictures. I'm still amazed how many agents are posting out there with really bad pictures. So keep an eye on that as well. Create YouTube videos about a town. So there's a lot of, there's a great channel out there in Dallas and several other places. So you could just label that YouTube channel Homes in My Town or About My Town. And then you want to do videos. It doesn't have to be fancy. If you look at my videos, they're not very fancy at all. But you can talk about restaurants, what to do in the area, what's going on with the market, house tours. But what happens is by using your town's name, the algorithms for YouTube will start popping in, and you'll start getting some attention and actually get people to want to correspond or reach out to you about buying a house or even selling a house. A great source for all this is just go to YouTube and see what other people are doing and then copy it. Do the same thing. The next one is calling for sale by owners. There's plenty of websites out there with for sale by owners, and a lot of them actually have the owner's information in there. Be careful with the do not call rules, but there's at least an email, sometimes even a phone number, and obviously an address, so that you could even drive over there. The quickest way to get a response is actually going to a door, knocking onto it, and introducing yourself and seeing where you can go with it from there. The last one I have for freebies is property values, CMA values. So what this is basically going into your database or even into a neighborhood and letting people know what the current market is on their home. A lot of CRMs or these programs we have out there will automate those. If yours isn't doing that, you might want to check into it. But you put in an address, you put in their email, and they can be emailed daily, weekly, monthly, what the neighborhood is doing. And it's a great way for you to get attention to them about yourself. But they will know what their house is worth, or they might not like those numbers, but it gives them a reason to contact you and debate that. And of course, we all know a proper CM should be done in person, not based on, a bunch of algorithms online. I did miss one more, and I kind of mentioned it a little bit, is door knocking. Door knocking is definitely a huge way of, one, getting face-to-face, just like the open houses. But door knocking doesn't have to be scary, and it doesn't have to be lengthy. It's really good around open houses. You just basically knocking on there and telling them that, hey, I'm having an open house. Please come on by. If you have any questions about the market, I'll be happy to answer it. So it doesn't have to be a long, lengthy one, but door knocking and let them know what's going on in the neighborhood. That's a great way to get the door open and your face in front of that individual or that potential seller. Now let's talk about a little bit of ones that actually cost money but actually produce as well. We have circle prospecting mailouts. So this is basically kind of like farming. You're picking an area and you're just stomping on that area with emails or mailers. And what happens is you don't want to just send out one every 3 months and hoping something happens. You want to be pretty aggressive in the beginning, sending a lot of mail out for, that first week. And then you can start gapping it out and going every couple weeks and then once a month. You should tie that into some open houses. So if you have your office or an agent that is working in that neighborhood you like, just ask them to do an open house. You'll be surprised how many agents do not do open houses, especially listing agents, and they're more than willing to let you do an open house because it looks good for their listings. But what you want to do is also circle prospect that neighborhood. Geographical farming a neighborhood or zip code, that's my number 15. That you can get with your title or escrow company with. Sometimes it's free or a very small amount of money, but you're getting some addresses and some names, and you're able to do a direct mail out to that particular neighborhood that you want to represent or service. Number 16 is housewarming parties for your buyers after closings. This is a great one. This one you can tie in with your lender as well, but basically you're telling them, hey, why don't we have a housewarming party when you're ready, a couple weeks after, and you're asking that seller for what I call their Christmas list. That's basically every name and address and phone number they may have in their database that they want to invite. And what's great is now you're getting more information of individuals to add to your own personal database, but it also makes you look great because a friend to a friend as a referral is the best referral you can get. All right, so we also have pay for Zillow ads. We all know about this one. It is quite expensive, but you got to keep in mind a lot of these ads with these companies that you're paying for, you're going to have to work these leads. They're very rare. They're going to come to you 100% ready to go and ready to buy or sell. You got to work them. It takes time for a lot of these leads. So that's why the more you do, the more chances you're going to get that to happen. Host a going away party for your sellers. That's a great way to get the neighbors involved and their friends and family that are still in the neighborhood or still in that town. And you have a nice little send off, but you're also gathering information just like you did for your buyer parties. Number 19, I have referral companies. So there's many referral companies out there. You can Google them, but you have like Veterans United, Home Light, and they do get a referral fee. Some of these charge fees up front. I avoid those. I like the ones that, once they give you a lead, you're just going to pay a split or a referral like you normally would with a real estate agent. So that's a great one to keep in mind. Call or mail non-owner occupied. So if you're maybe after veterans, you can always look for non-owner occupied properties around a military base, and they're more likely to be a VA renter. And you can you go after that VA renter to purchase, or you'd go after the non-owner occupied and say, hey, have you thought about selling in today's market? It's a great way to possibly get a listing as well as working with a buyer. I have number 20 is call or mail non-owner occupied, which we just covered. Sorry about that. Number 21, buy realtor.com leads. So just like Zillow, it's another web-based program or service that will get you some lead gen. Again, these are typically online leads. Occasionally they're actual phone calls, but they're just something to add to your database and nurture so that in the future you have another potential sale. Another one I have is join local networking groups. So I know in my area we have some like breakfast clubs. There are other clubs out there where it's business to business networking. So they might have one real estate agent, they might have one lender, one mechanic, one hairdresser, that type of thing. But the idea is to have one professional in each trade, and the idea is to share business with each other and help each other grow their businesses. So it's actually a great thing to do. Take people out to coffee or lunch. That working your database, working friends and family, neighbors, anything, is just call and say, hey, let's have a lunch or let's have a coffee and talk about the market. What questions do you have about today's market? Let's go grab a cup of coffee at Starbucks. And you'll be surprised how many people want to sit down and talk about it. Again, a lot of these aren't going to happen overnight. They're going to take time. It's going to take some nurturing. But the idea is when they are ready, you're the one they think of. But with all these 23 different lead types, some of these are going to pan out to be right away. So it's something you just got to keep doing over and over again. Like I said, in 2023, we're going to have to double down and work harder than most of you have ever worked in real estate. So those are my tips. I don't think I missed anything. If I did, just call me out and I'll have these put out below. And please like and subscribe, so I'll keep doing these for you. And that's all I got. All right, everybody have a great and successful year, and we'll talk again soon. All right, bye.